Oh no.
Oh no. This is fine.
Here, wait, Kristy, move your mouth. Ready? Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I am your whimsical DM, Victoria, puppeting the body of Kristy Mysticwater. But before we get into the game tonight, we have some announcements.
Okay, that's because the announcements are a video now. Welcome to the new setup, guys. Let's go.
Welcome to the show. And now a word from our sponsors. First off, thanks to Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. Check them out on their Twitter at Little Dragon Co. 1 to stay updated on all their awesome products. Remember, you can use our brand new coupon code BONUS when you head over to littledragoncorp.com and get 15% off your order. Once again, the coupon code is BONUS, BONUS. Also thanks to Cardboard Castle Games. They are a lovely little brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. Remember to go check them out if you're in the area. Stop by and tell them that Proficiency Bonus sent you, and they might just give you 10% off your in-store order. If you're not in Evans, Georgia, don't fret. You can check them out online at their website, cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Sirenscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Sirenscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included when you get started. You don't even need to register. Go to Sirenscape.com to find out more. Additional thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some of the additional music we use here and on Wednesday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rules, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Don't forget to check out our other games. Our schedule is posted down below the Twitch feed. We stream basically every day here at Provo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules, as well as some homebrew games, and some of our other games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Hopefully, we have something up your alley. We now have a community Discord with public channels. Please come check it out and come hang out with us. We are always welcoming new GMs, players, and other friends to our family. All experience levels are welcome. From veteran gamers to total newbies, we encourage people of color, LGBTQI+ nerds, and gamers to join us as well. I think that's everything. Back to you, DM.
Okay, we are back.
Oh,
Don't worry, you were muted. They didn't hear that.
okay, good. Hi everybody. Before we get into our game, also thank you to Kristy for the lovely announcement video. It makes life so easy, and we get a little extra time to hang out that any people can't hear it. But before we get into all of the fun game content, we are going to pass it on over to tonight's recapper, who is our resident recapper, Ink.
I am indeed. What?
No, it's Graf. Graf is in the recap window.
We're all mixed up. All right, Graf.
I'm trying to enjoy my sandwich, man.
No, so look forward, Graf, and I'm gonna deliver this through you, okay? All right. So the party is continuing to go through their enjoyment of the Witchlight Carnival, and the next stop on their journey is the Swan Ride.
Hang on.
This is too chaotic.
I'm fixing it. You're good.
This is too No, I'm talking about Victoria off camera.
Oh, I just wasn't looking.
How am I supposed to deliver this?
Okay, we're good. Reset.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm going to make it so that I'm only looking at myself so that Victoria can do whatever she wants. The party was continuing their enjoyment of the Witchlight Carnival, and the next stop on their journey was the Swan Ride. Now, as they approached, our lovely guide, Dove, reminded us that there are two paths that you can take. There's a more scenic sort of tour guide route, and there's a little bit more intimate tunnel of love route. Now, the dictation of which path was which may have been purposefully obfuscated, which may or may not have led to Dawn and Ego writing a very intimate, slow, tunnel of love sort of scenario. Ego came out of this scenario perfectly fine. Dawn came out of it charmed by the young witch. They also engaged in a very, I'll say, interesting and philosophical conversation with the swan themselves, and pretty much were having a really great time. The other half of the party, however, encountered a crying woman. And upon asking her what was going on, she told them this story about how I believe she lost her ring for
She
her.
lost the love, like the love of her life.
She lost the love of her life. I couldn't remember if she lost the ring from the love of her life or just straight up lost the love of her life. She lost the love of her life. She was inconsolable. Dove was like, why don't we, like, we can go on the ride, we can, you're supposed to be happy here. And she was like, well, you can't put 3 people on there, but, like, maybe just, like, one of you. And Dove was like, well, no, we can all go. Like, she's really small. This woman begins to be pressed, and as it turns out, perhaps maybe all of her intentions were not all that good, as she wanted to get a little bit of life-sucking smooching going on in the Tunnel of Love, not be consoled about her late husband who probably didn't exist. So while Dawn and Ego were in the Tunnel of Love, combat actually broke out as this woman tried to fight off the other members of the party and then flee. Dove tried to get help from one of her fellow workers, to which he replied, "Leave that woman alone. Just let her get away. Just let her get away." Getting injured in this scuffle, they decide to go to the Lost and Found so that they can get those wounds looked at and sort of recover, leading Dawn and Ego to be like, they put us on the Tunnel of Love and they left us. We've been abandoned at the Witchlight Carnival. Why do we have this guide if they're going to abandon us? But they decide, well, if we can't find who we're supposed to be with, we should go to the Lost and Found, because that's where lost people can be found. It works great. The party is reunited. They start to get, they sort of exchange the events of what's been going on, but not before a child has to be a child and mess with things that they shouldn't mess with. Triggering the, I don't want to say triggering, but agitating, I'll say, one of the workers in the Lost and Found. Child gets scared, child runs off. We try to find the child. We find the child after a little bit of searching. Dove lies to the child about why the worker got upset and growled at him. And so Ego warns Dove to not ever lie to children, as they are still pure of heart and should not have to face the reality of life. We left off with the party now sort of recovered and brought back together. They were going to go back and talk with one of Dove's co-workers about this strange woman that seems to be wreaking havoc on the carnival, or at least wreaking havoc on Dove. Jeez, she's having her day off, and she's having to work way more than a day off should ever entail for anybody. And Dawn makes a point of saying, there's a lot of litigation that could be made here. And that's where we left off.
Excellent. So, Ego and Dove can have a 1d6 Bard inspiration to use at any point during tonight's session.
I dropped it.
Now you lost it permanently.
It's gone. I actually lost 1d6 health permanently.
Yeah. Oh, what did you say, Danica?
Which is like almost all.
Yeah, that's basically
the majority of my HP.
Mm-hmm. So we are going to bring it back in and do a teensy bit of like a retcon kind of thing here. Not like a retcon, but just kind of like a little flashback, because just before the end of session, Dove did something very iconic, and we didn't have quite enough time in the real world to do the thing that we do, which is roll a history check. So, all of you heard Dove roll the wolf whistle because she was like kind of summoning everybody back together. Therefore, all three of you can roll a history check, if you so desire, to see if you remember this person. Like, or if it unlocks, like, a memory for you.
You said all three?
Yeah, and, well, I mean, if all three of you would like to, you may. You don't have to.
I did, but nope.
Come on, Dove. High history roll.
Oh, right. You need dice to play D&D.
You do, yeah.
I'm not at work today, so I have my nice dice.
Ooh. I have some special dice here that were a gift, along with some butterflies.
Ready, everyone's favorite dice. Show them off.
Well,
I
okay, if
don't
we're going
have my
favorite dice...
Ooh, pretty.
Our favorite dice.
I don't have my favorite dice with me.
These are my favorite.
Ooh, those are pretty.
What did Clover get?
7.
Okay.
It was a 6 plus 1.
You were like, nope, and I'm like, well, maybe it is. Maybe it's a yup, but you think it's a nope, but that's a nope.
Oh my god, it's not even hit, pushing like 10. It's so cute.
What do we got for Ego?
I decided to add that D6 that I just got because I keep on forgetting to use them anyway, so it's a 16.
Okay. And what did Dawn get if you rolled?
18.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be interesting because 2 of you have succeeded.
A threesome?
Oh. Do I get to watch?
Let me change the music here and get us into something like more. Sorry. I gotta open up. I have it in a whole other grouping. It's not that one. Oh, that's the swans. Nope.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was like, I think the swans.
Turn down that one and turn down that one. Just want it to be light. There we go. Okay, so in kind of just like the rush to figure out what was going on, pick Legrand's brain about like the missing people, and just like get the situation with the lost child resolved. It took a second for all of you to like really process like the events that had just happened, but as you are getting ready to depart from Durla's booth at the Lost and Found, oh my god, I just like Dawn is Graf's character's name. Dawn and Ego, both of you, like you hear like a whistle coming from somewhere else, and then you think back to the whistle that you heard your friend Dove use to kind of summon everybody together, and you've heard it a couple times tonight, and all of a sudden you find yourselves flashing back to the recesses of your minds. So I think I'm going to start this one with Dawn, and this actually might involve all 4 of you just because we already had one event that set the scene, so we know that 2 people are already together. So, Dawn, I believe you are you're kind of like a tween going, and you're with your family, you're going to the carnival. Why don't you give us a description of like who do we see in this big gaggle of satyrs that are heading to this big colorful group of tents that's just like emanating this glow as the sun sets behind you.
Sure. You see a scrawny kid, uh, pretty short for his age, with these really bright, like, blue eyes that are constantly, like, moving around and taking in everything. His hair is, like, incredibly curly. Like, it's like having a puffball on his head, basically. This bright red hair that, like, stands out because it's even I would say it's even bright among his siblings how red his hair is, with these two decently sized nubs that come out of it. He has a round face, but like very skinny, probably just handed over like one of his baby siblings to like his mom because he didn't want to carry her or anymore.
Yeah, so at this point, because it's about 8 years past, that would have been your sister Urania. She would have only been like 2 at this point, so
Yeah.
she's probably really annoying and just old enough to be really wiggly and frustrating. So, yeah, you hand her back to your mom, who's there like ushering all of your other siblings together, and you have like various cousins following behind you. Your father is there with his mandolin strapped to his back because he is always looking for an excuse to show off
Mhm.
and get the family has all of your sisters have like an impromptu like choir performance that they like to put on whenever cousins are in town, and this is like a big event because the carnival's here and cousins are in town, so they're gonna like show off.
Mhm.
um so yeah, you're walking with your family, and we cut away from this gaggle of satyrs that are having this like jovial time to another part of the woods, not quite the same space that a witch in training emerged from, but another like little cluster of trees. We see somebody else emerge, or like from a farm maybe. Actually, you know what, Danica, why don't you tell us, like, Dove, so you just spent, oh, this is where it's gonna get really interesting here because we're about to visit a memory before you lost your memories. So,
No.
for Dove, you have been bumbling through the wilderness for you don't know how long. You just knew you needed to get away. Away from that awful, evil, lying wizard who took you and your whole family. He locked you into like a jar as if you were some sort of creature on display and took your family away, and you watched your parents and your siblings and the other people that were close to your family just carted off like experiments or lab rats. But you were angry and you were clever, and it seemed in the time that this wizard was focusing his work on other members of your family, he had sort of just left you like a little trophy stuck in this little jar with scrolls lying around on his desks, and you read them and you memorized them. And then one day when you were reading it, you finally, something clicked, and then all of a sudden, you weren't in that jar anymore. You were outside of a tall stone tower in the woods. Your family was nowhere to be seen. and instinct took over and you ran. You fled into the forest that felt like home, or at least a whisper of it, because this forest wasn't quite as vibrant, wasn't quite as fragrant or colorful, felt dull compared to the one that you once called home as your family traveled and made their way through the world. But nonetheless, you went there. You would fall asleep trying to find shelter underneath trees, only to wake up in the morning with bears standing over you to shield you from the rain, or wolves bringing you fresh meat, squirrels chittering down from their trees to bring you nuts and berries to sustain you, and all of these creatures helping you make your way out. And one day, one evening really, you finally are out. And you look up, and there's color again. Not just the green of this forest, but that bright color that you feel. The reds just get your heart racing. The yellows, you can just like feel the warmth and the joy, and the purples just draw you in to this infinite space. And you see so many tents that actually hold those colors the way that you remember them looking.
Hmm.
And you see them off in the distance, and crowds, swaths of people that seem to be gathering towards them. And there is a river that is kind of blocking your path from these tents, so I would imagine maybe... Do you cross the river, or do you go towards the people? Or do something else?
Oh gosh, I think she is like a little relieved to see like those like familiar vibrancy, and she just knows she needs to get inside. And I think for a second she like moves the like white dove soft wings on her back for a moment, before they're like completely struck with pain, and she just stops. Like she thought about maybe flying over, but no, she definitely can't do that. So I think she is super scared of people, but knows that she is too weak to swim across. So I think she's gonna just like, if she's got anything to like cover her back and her body as much as she can, she's gonna like try to walk into the people and see if these are any fae people around, someone familiar, a familiar like creature or person, humanoid, someone. I think she'd probably go to them.
Yeah, as you approach, you see people, but they're not the kinds of people that your family is associated with. A lot of them are very tall, and they don't have pointed ears. Some of them are much bigger and burlier, whereas many of the members of your family were very lithe and had some like elven heritage mixed with their fae blood. And so you don't see as many people at first, but then in this like line, this procession, you actually do spot several people who are of a variety that is familiar to you. They're satyrs. Your family actually associated and traveled with some satyrs in their troop, so to speak. And you see, it appears to be a large family of satyrs, ranging in age from, the two parents are adults, but there are children that are in their early 20s all the way down to little babies. And you happen to lock eyes with one of the boys who seems to be kind of like similar in age to you, with a poof of fluffy curly hair on his head, who's kind of you see he passes off a baby to one of the adult female satyr that is with them, and then probably turns to look around, and the two of you lock eyes.
Seeing a satyr, I'm like, and I'm gonna like, with like my little hood up, I'm gonna like walk over, like as close as I can, without drawing any attention to myself, to one that's like, the one with the little afro and the blue eyes, and I'm gonna come over and be like, I think to get someone's attention, to get his attention, I think she's gonna do a little whistle to see if the boy will look at her.
Yeah, so Dawn, you hear this high-pitched whistle over the din of the crowd that is around you, and over the laughter and song that your family is just always emanating, and that is so comforting and familiar to you. And you turn and you see a pretty small figure. If Dove is like a child right now, I feel like she's like she's maybe like 2 feet tall.
Yeah,
she caps it at like 3, I think.
Yeah, real small.
Yeah, about 2 feet tall. Absolutely filthy, like burrs clinging to her cloak. Which I would say, what would a child dove have been wearing? Would she have the same cloak? Because if not, I can tell you what she's wearing. But
yeah, tell me. I would love to know.
So her clothing is absolutely filthy, but is a mixture of very fine furs and very like colorful silks that have like lace patterns embroidered on them that are very like naturalistic, but they're tattered to shit and dirty, and there's like sticks and leaves that are clinging to her. On what skin you can see, there's mud and like all caked onto it, and her outfit is like very fine, probably like a very finely cut gown, but it's like not like a ball gown. There's like a practicality to it. Like it's I wish I knew like fashion terms. There's like little shorts, and then like a long like skirt that covers like one leg that goes down the side. And she has like these very ornate boots that are shaped like swans, and just like furs, very like fine yet practical.
I'm gonna say my mind was working, and I think actually maybe the reason she did the wolf whistle at first was because she knew that if anyone in her family heard that, they'd know it was her. So I think it was her doing that, and I think that's probably why she did it, and maybe why Dawn and her locked eyes, just as a thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, little Dawn at this age, he was not the most reliable kid. He definitely more embodied what satyrs are normally depicted as. So he hears the whistle, and he was like, okay, I just handed off my sister. Sees this dirty, messy thing come out of the woods, and I feel like he has a big brother instinct take over. And he's like, looks around to see if anybody is going to notice him go, and then he's going to like trot his way over.
Yeah, your parents are occupied now with your baby sister, and I would say like the rest of your siblings are probably like just always, there's always something going on. They're like bickering, they're arguing. So you're able to slip away pretty easily.
Yeah.
That's one of the benefits of being in a big family, is like half the time like they're like they can't keep track of all of these kids.
Never stops. But yeah, he sort of like runs his way over.
I think she's gonna get really excited and start approaching you, too, and like meet you in the middle.
Okay. Yeah. He kind of like stops, gives her a look over, and just kind of goes, "You look kind of bad."
So he speaks to you in a language that your family made sure you were tutored in, but it's not your native tongue. This is common, and this is the language of mortals. This is like a yeah, like it's very guttural to you, and it doesn't have that sing-song quality that you're used to hearing. And so hearing that come from a satyr to you is like you get taken aback for a second because a satyr should speak Sylvan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I know. Did you just call me ugly?
No. You're just messy, not ugly.
Oh, sorry. I don't have the greatest comment. Sorry. Do you know? Have you seen anyone like me? And I'm gonna like point to my clothes. Anybody?
No, I don't think so. I just got here. With my mom and my dad and my brother and my brother and my sister and my sister and my brother and my sister and my sister and my cousin.
That's nice. I'm looking for my family too. Or I'm looking for my family. I don't know where to look. I thought maybe they would be in there. Are you going inside?
They totally forgot to give me a ticket and stuff because there's a lot of us. So I'm just gonna go in and you can come with.
Okay.
My family is a lot of fun to hang out with. They like to play music and dance and stuff and things.
Oh, I haven't heard any music in a long time. I really like music and dancing too.
Me too. I'm gonna get I think my dad calls it a yarding, but he keeps laughing because it sounds like farting.
That's kind of funny.
I want one. They make really nice noises. And I'm gonna be probably the greatest traveling musician you've ever heard.
Wow! I like music too. That's really cool. What would you play?
All of them.
Wow. I like flutes. They sound so pretty. Okay. I guess if you don't mind, could I? You're the only person I can recognize. The only satyr. Everyone else.
Yeah, we're kind of not the most common around here, huh? Where are you from, then?
DM, would I say, like, would I know? I would, because I have my memory, but...
Yeah, oh man. Am I gonna give you a really big plot point, or am I gonna...
You
It'd
could
be
not...
really funny, maybe, because I don't think...
I could just say she would not know technically where the difference would be. So I don't know. Maybe if you want to keep it secret, you can.
Yeah, so your family traveled always. You never settle in one place. But you would primarily take residence in very ornate wagons in the forest, and you would pull these wagons around, and different like woodland creatures would join your family, and other fantastical beings. So
I could that sounds
would, yeah, you would be from like the forest, probably, is what would first come to mind.
Well, I travel a lot with my family, but we always live in forests. Really, really bright color. Not like this green. It's so sad. It's such a sad green, this forest. It's not bright.
The trees here don't talk either, which is very strange. And neither do the animals.
Yeah, also, I feel like I must be someplace very strange because the trees are very antisocial and the animals are very mute. I think that's the word. They're very mute. And I am confused where I am. Where are we?
You're kind of confusing me. You sound kind of like my grandma before we put her in a retirement home.
Was she from a place with talking trees and animals?
Yes?
Oh, maybe I could talk to your grandma.
No. She's in a retirement home.
Oh, I see. Maybe I could talk to your family about this retirement home.
I think you're too young to go to one, but the town we're in is looks at DM because I don't remember.
You're in Amphale, and it's yeah, you live on like this region is called the Sword Coast.
Yeah. Amphale in the Sword Coast.
None of those words mean anything to me, but maybe that's because I just haven't been here before, and that's okay.
Most of the time, words never mean anything regardless, so we kind of just give them our own meaning.
Wow. You should put that in a song.
I will. You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, come, it looks like they're fitting the last of, my brothers in, so we can just kind of run in past them.
Okay. I'm like super ready to run.
Yeah, so, as you are, let's see, both of you, roll me just a straight d20.
15.
11.
You're each getting a +3 to this because I feel like children are naturally, like, pretty stealthy. Like, I don't know, I feel like they should get, like, a +3 to, like, because they don't have, like, skills, but, like, yeah, so that's an 18 and a 14, which all you needed was a 12. But yeah, so there's this, like, again, like, a massive gaggle of satyrs that are coming through, and, like, you're actually able to just kind of slip in, like, behind the ticket booth tent, because, like, one of the satyr, infants actually, Dawn, your, nephew, one of your eldest sister's, sons, has just started, like, throwing up everywhere, like, on the ticket booth, and is, like, kind of losing it, and, like, the butterfly wings that they were handing out are, like, ruined. He's very colicky, so, it's, like, kind of an issue. But so you're able to slip past in this opportune moment and, make your way into the Witchlight Carnival with this, girl who I don't believe either of you have shared names. So, the two of you enter, and you see just like a riot of color and just shimmering fireworks that are exploding in small clusters over the tents, but they, like, don't make that very loud jarring noise, and there's just like, Siri, oh my god, Siri is so rude. She does this every time.
Siri said, "Sorry, I didn't understand that. Could you speak a little better next time, please?"
But yeah, so there's these colorful tents, and as soon as you enter, like, there's just these crowds surrounding you. You see these elven stilt walkers that are juggling these, like, pins and walking around. And as you weave your way through, these little flowers sprout up out of the ground with like little smiley faces on them, and they begin serenading you like a jolly little tune. Um, and what are you? This will no way impact our. Okay. um, but yeah, you find yourselves in the carnival, and um, I would say at this point, like maybe you spend a little bit of time like walking around, um, just like looking around to see what you can find to like figure out if there are other people like you, uh, Dove, and Dawn is. I feel like you're kind of just like enamored with like the color and the fun, so you're more than happy to just go along with this dirty child for a little while.
Yeah.
And at one point you find yourselves in probably like just like a little nook, or like a little area that's less trafficked, and I'm gonna put a pin in you there, and we're going to cut back, and naturally this is when Kristy covers her camera to two other individuals, two children who are also at the fair. We go back to Clover and Ego, who just shared a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but Ego, you also had a very strange feeling about it all, as this girl's mother seemed to know your name without you giving it.
I remember, yes.
Mhm.
I forgot about that.
It's canon now.
I love it.
It's stuck on the roof of my mouth.
That's the best part. Where are we inside already or not yet?
So you're actually on the other side of the river. You met outside of the fair and you haven't entered yet. But as you're sitting there eating these sandwiches in the grass on the riverbank, which burbles happily before you, you see two individuals across on the other side of the river, which is only about 15 feet wide. You see a boy with like very, very curly hair and little hooves, and bright blue eyes and little horns sticking out of his head, and he kneels down with a girl who has white hair with like twigs and leaves stuck in it, who is wearing clothes of a very fine make but a very foreign style, yet tattered and filthy. And they're kind of just like taking a break, sitting and like looking at everything and talking. And you're 15 feet away, like each on other sides of this riverbank. And so I would say, Dove, you probably see these two across the river first. There is an elven child with dusky, like dark purpley gray skin, also has white hair, a little tail that's like flicking in the grass behind them. And you're wearing the big witch's hat, right?
Yes.
Or no?
No, I am, and it's
Like
it
oversized.
looks it's an oversized pointy hat.
And it's colored like a mushroom cap, isn't it?
It is colored like a mushroom cap, yeah.
And they are with a girl who's also a very small stature like you, like not even 2 feet tall, with I believe she has blonde hair, and the two of them are eating a sandwich. But I would say that they catch your eye because the individual with like the darker skin is wearing this mushroom hat, and something like that fashion is like very familiar to you. In fact, you actually knew like sentient mushrooms. And they were very wise and like knew like deep secrets about the wilds, and so it was you remember being a child, and that was like a big fashion thing, was to wear like mushroom hats and to dress up like mushrooms. That was like in the eternal spring that your family lived in Like at one point that was just a fashion choice that everybody did, and then after a while they gave up on that and everybody started dressing like birds, and after that it was gemstones, but this person's like the way they look stands out to you.
Okay. I'll probably say, if that's okay with you, I think she was probably, while Dawn and her were looking around over there, she might have still been like occasionally giving a whistle. So I don't know. Maybe that is what maybe caught their attention. Yeah,
it would make sense. You did whistle to Dawn, so
yeah.
I feel like she'd be doing that to get their attention.
Yeah, Ego, you hear this high-pitched whistle, and you look across the bank and you see these other children across the way. It would seem that your friend Clover, yes, she introduced herself. Clover is really just tucking into the sandwich and is like humming a little song to herself as she eats it, so she didn't quite notice the whistle.
Peanut butter.
I'm gonna brave across the way. Are you? Do you know any fairies, good sir? Have you seen any fairies?
I slowly turned my head over to. No, wait, she's not a fairy.
She's not. She's a halfling.
I'm a halfling. I'm not a fairy.
Halfling.
Peanut butter jelly.
Your retro fashions, and I thought you may know my family. We once also loved mushroom decorum, but I thought perhaps you may know my family. Have you seen a fairy? Oh, I see. Nope, no go. I looked at Dawn.
I'm just sort of like, why are so many random people talking, yelling at me from the forest? So
yeah, and as she turns back to her friend to say like, "Oh, no go," you do see that she has this pair of like very plush white bird's wings coming out of her back. But one of them seems to be like very crooked, almost like it was like broken.
Ego doesn't yell.
Well, yeah, well, you know, you don't like to raise your voice, and so there is a 15-foot river in between you and them. You could go over and try to have a conversation.
A 15-foot. I mean, it's a calm river, right?
It's like a lazy river. It's slow, and you can actually see, like, it's perfectly clear. You can see to the bottom. It looks to be at the deepest point, maybe 10 feet.
Okay, so Ego probably would say something back, but you're not going to hear Ego because Ego is way too soft-spoken, so it's just sort of...
You see his mouth moving. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. I can't swim very well. Would you like to join us on this bank and eat your jelly-looking treats over here?
Not sharing. No one taught you to share.
I would say at this point, Clover, you do like notice this exchange happening.
Thank you. She is oblivious. I'll give you that.
Do you know her? She's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go say hi?
Is there a way to get over there without swimming?
I just start. I'm rolling up my like pant leg.
Roll a perception check.
Which one?
I'm gonna look at Dawn and be like, by the way, I didn't get your name.
5.
Nope, nothing to help you get across.
Problem yet?
Nothing to help you get across. Put your arms and your legs.
I I start rolling up my pants, and you ask Don for his name.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Oh, muted.
I'm gonna drown myself. Anyway. Yeah. I should tell you my name since you're gonna hear it a lot in the future. I'm Adonis.
Oh, nice to meet you, Adonis. I'm gonna give like a little curtsy. Oh, my name. Question, DM. Real quick, sidebar. Dove just can't remember family. Doesn't mean she. Does that mean she doesn't remember her name? Because I've wondered this, because if the only people to ever call you your name is your family, and you can't remember them, do you know your name?
I would say you do know your name because people other than your family called you by that name, unless you think that Dove is. Do you think Dove is a chosen name?
No.
If you do, we can.
No, I think it's Dove. I think it's Dove. You're right. That makes sense. Other people would call her that too, besides her family. That makes sense. She'll just look at Don and be like, "Nice to meet you, Don. My name is Dove."
Like the bird.
Well,
Yeah.
so as a point, the context that you hear your name is often Princess Dove.
Oh!
Which is why you remember it, because people who address you are addressing you as royalty.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, Lord.
I said amnesia, and the DMs.
You're gonna have to not metagame this. You're not gonna remember any of this shit.
Victoria. Oh my god.
That's why your clothes are so fancy.
Oh my god, yeah, convenient fancy clothes today. Oh yeah, she's got
Get
a
him,
little...
Victoria, get him!
Oh my god, Victoria. Just a bomb drop, whatever.
Just the nonchalant way of just
Yeah.
like, by the way.
The way, because like people would like call you like Lady Dove or Princess Dove, but I'm gonna rule that like because you lose your memories of your family, you forget that because that's like a family connection type thing.
Yeah.
So
You're Dove.
yeah, but you're used to people like addressing you in a specific like way, but your family is not like you have heard of other royalty in the place that you call home who demand great respect, and your family, although people call you princess, they have always believed that like everybody is welcome with them, just as like to help you guide like where you might be going with that.
That everyone is welcome with them?
Everyone is welcome, yes. And like they actively like shun anytime somebody like calls you princess or calls your mother like a queen. They're like, no, like don't, like we stand as equals.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, well, my name is Dove. People call me lots of things, like Lady Dove or things like that, but you can just call me Dove. That's what my mama likes to say.
You came from the woods.
Yeah, I did.
So, like, people from, I guess you do talk to plants and things like my grandma before they sent her away. Okay.
You won't send me away, will you?
I don't think I have the power to do that. My dad might. He doesn't understand how that works. He just remembered that his dad was like, yeah, your grandma went to a retirement.
She's suddenly very afraid. I don't think I want to meet your dad. If that's okay.
But he's like, cool.
Not if he sends me away. That would be very not cool.
I have finished rolling up my pant legs, and I've taken off my shoes, and I've put them in my little bag or whatever, and I'm getting ready to go across this river.
I can't remember what I'm wearing, but I will also try to like lift whatever the fuck I'm wearing.
You're probably wearing a pretty plain like dress or like a top and a skirt. But like your mother is not of means, and you live at the edge of town, and your mother has to work a lot, and you actually help her sometimes.
Yeah.
You're very like humble situation, although for you being a child, that's not something that you'd notice necessarily.
Yeah, no.
But you just know that you get to spend a lot of time like outside with your mom. So you're probably wearing like fairly plain like farmer peasant clothes.
I'll roll it up and take off whatever like sandals I'm wearing and put them on top of my head.
Okay, are you going in the water?
Yeah, because I'm thinking about this. I don't know if she has the phobia yet.
No, because
I don't think she does, because the bad things haven't started yet, so I don't think she has a phobia yet.
Mm-mm.
So she's
No,
gonna go.
your mom probably takes you into the woods sometimes to go for a swim.
Yeah, so
like,
yeah.
for fun.
Go will still offer a hand to hold.
Oh yeah, she's klutzy regardless of what's going on, so that's probably needed. Just like
So the water is like the perfect temperature. It's like just slightly cool, but it is like it was a hot summer day, and it's now like kind of the evening is cooling down, and you can hear like all the crickets and the lightning bugs kind of buzzing around, but it's the water is like the perfect temperature, and it moves very slowly, so you have no problem swimming across. You emerge soaked on the other side, and for Dawn and Dove,
are my shoes dry?
No, they got wet.
Damn it.
You see these two children roll up their clothes and swim across, and they emerge before you.
Hey.
Take the top of my hat and I crinkle it like a rag.
Yeah, I start.
And I just wring all the. I said, "Are you okay? Your wing is broken."
Oh.
Also, are you a bird? Turned into a girl? Or a girl with bird wings?
I'm a fairy. All fairies have wings.
You're a fairy? I wasn't paying attention. I totally didn't see that you had wings.
I've never met a fairy before.
That's interesting. I've met so many fairies. I don't think I've ever met anyone. I thought you were an elf, sir. And I'm gonna look at Ego. But I see that you're not like the elves I'm used to. And you look so... I'm gonna look over. I don't know.
She's cute, but she's very plain compared to like the kinds of people you're used to seeing.
Neutral colored. Yeah. What are you both? Can I ask? I don't think I'm in a place even close to where my home is, and I don't recognize anything.
He's also bad at common.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I used wrong words.
Oh, that's okay. You're learning. I guess I'm a halfling. If that's what halfling. We're small.
Half of something?
Maybe? We're just small. We're half of people, so we're smaller. We're half the size. Half the size with just as much personality.
Oh, I look like, well, we have the same size.
Yeah.
I'm my level. I'm like, that's so funny. Maybe I'm a half a size too.
Oh, you are.
What's your name?
Clover.
Clover. Oh, my name is Lady Dove, but you can just call me Dove. I'm gonna give her a curtsy.
I will curtsy back.
Oh, thank you. And what are you, sir? Can I ask?
Well, you're right, I'm not an elf.
Oh.
I'm just... me.
Oh. That is a very lovely answer. And mysteriously vague.
It's the only thing I can be.
Oh. That makes sense.
And it's the only thing I ever will be, unless I turn into something else. But for now, I'm me, and you can call me Ego.
Yo, nice to meet you. Well, I'm sorry you got wet. Would a child in now I'm guessing Doves means know the cantrip druid or prestidigitation.
Well, you know Druidcraft because that's one of the racial spells, and that's like your family has always had magic.
Do I
Okay.
know prestidigitation? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have nothing.
I'm sorry you got wet, and I'm gonna just I want to just warm them a little bit, and like a little hopefully dry their clothes a little.
Shoes
and just...
first.
Oh yes, and I'm gonna add some pretty like dandelion puffs in her shoes, and just little flowers weaving through all their clothes and stuff, and a really like warm scent blows in the breeze. Sorry you got wet.
Oh my
It's
god.
fine. I normally dress like this when I'm going to catch frogs, and I learned how to do this. And I'm gonna prestidigitate all of the like muck and mud off of us.
Quick point here.
What?
When you see that, Dove, there's something about the way that Ego casts this spell that like makes you. There's like a little part of you that recoils because you had seen the wizard clean up messes in his lab in just the same way, and the way that like the liquids would just kind of like wick off and vanish is very similar.
Mm.
So you're a fairy. And you're, I've seen pictures of that look like both of you in my mom's book.
What kind of book?
It's her big book. I guess like her cookbook?
You say
No, wait. She doesn't eat you. She's got big books. She's got a lot of books. But I've seen pictures in her picture books. A fairy. And, do I know what a satyr is?
Yeah.
And a thater.
the most noble creature of the wood, a satyr.
Thater.
Hater.
Say there.
And you're all pretty young. Well, like the same age? How old are you?
Okay, I believe that Dawn might technically be the oldest, like, because so Dawn is like a young teen. Clover is like... Clover's pretty young, isn't she? We discussed all of this in our channels,
Let me
and
look.
yet I can't remember.
I'll look real quick. I'm pretty sure she's like 8, but I'll check.
Yeah, because you had weird stuff happen to you.
I think I'm like 10.
I think I was 9.
John is 14.
Yeah, so...
So then maybe I was like 12.
8. I'm 8 years old.
Okay, so I think Clover's definitely the youngest, and, like, the rest of you are kind of, like, in that, like tween-ish range, although for Dove, like, age is not something, it's not a concept that, like, your family even has. People enter phases of their lives, like, when they choose to, and when, like, noble things happen to them. It's not, like, it's just sometimes all of a sudden people look in a mirror for the first time in a long time and they're different. It's not like you count on a calendar or anything like that. So you don't, if people are asking like how old you are, you're like,
As in like you're a kid.
A kid, like a goat.
You're not old.
Like a goat.
No. What is old? I don't.
Like
I don't
30.
know these words.
Wrinkly.
My grandma's old.
Wrinkly.
A grandma. Or a mom.
My mom's really young, but I'd say 30.
I don't think I know. I don't think I know that word. I'm sorry. I don't really understand this language very well.
Well, I'm 8 years old, and that means I've been around for 8 winters.
Oh.
You've never seen winter.
Oh, 8 summers!
Well,
Whatever
so
the fuck!
Dove, you've heard of like summer and winter and autumn as like regions or other like noble courts, but your family like
Winter's a place you go to.
Yeah,
winter's a place,
Location.
not a time.
Yeah.
it's a location.
I've visited winter, so I guess I'm 0 years old. Right?
That doesn't seem right.
The point of what I'm saying is, what are all these kids doing in the woods lately?
Oh. I was running from someone very scary. And I'm here to find my family.
Aw.
What are you doing?
Well, I came here with my mom, but then we found Ego, and my mom wants to make sure Ego doesn't stay alone, so we're hanging out. So,
Oh. Dawn did for me. Dawn snuck in with me, so I wouldn't be alone.
You snuck in? Too?
I didn't sneak in. They forgot to give me my ticket.
Yeah, very different.
I lost my
like-
money.
Oh no!
I was just trying to catch a frog.
Frogs are good. I like frogs.
They said Clover's mom said that there's like games and stuff though.
Yeah,
Really played
I'm like old enough to be on my own anyway, because I'm like 14, so
Wow!
You've visited winter 14 times. That's a lot of times.
That is a lot of times.
I'm very
exactly. So I think it's fine, and in fact, you guys should probably follow me and do what I say, because I know the most.
Okay.
Okay. I do not know this place. So that sounds right. Will you help me look for my family while we walk around? Is that okay?
Of course.
They're probably somewhere around here.
Mm-hmm.
I
Good.
didn't see any other fairies wandering around in the forest, so they're probably at the carnival.
I bet we could ask someone.
Okay. Well, lead the way, Dawn.
Okay, my family is probably around. We will stay away from all of the music and people having fun, because that's probably them making things lively, and they're gonna ask me questions, and that's boring.
We'll go somewhere else where you can play music. Maybe you can show me how to play all the instruments.
A yarding.
Yes, a farting.
That sounds
So-
gross.
With that, you head off into the fairgrounds, and in like a swirl of clouds, like our viewpoint shifts, and we are back at the fair in the current timeline, where that shared memory fades from the minds of Ego and Dawn, and the two of you probably like, you know, make eye contact, maybe like shake your head a little bit as you come out of a bit of a daze. But all of a sudden, you remember why. Now, both of the ladies with you are familiar. So Dawn gets a double on that one. That's a 2-for-1 for Dawn.
And now I've got it. I've got the full picture. It
Yeah,
was
you do
all
have
of
the full
us.
picture. Mm-hmm.
That is the only one completely in the dark still.
Well, so's Clover.
I also don't know shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Neither
Dawn,
of you know anything.
Ego,
You-
and then Clover,
Yeah,
but Clover
the-
for Ego.
So the two of you, like, again, at any time that you think it's justified, or also if I think it's justified, we can always do more history
No,
checks.
fine with this. This works.
Yeah.
This tracks.
So,
Yay!
Yeah, I think because the girls are normally leading, so I think it would make sense that like maybe Dawn and Ego like
fell
both
back.
kind of like stopped. You.
You.
Changed your hair.
Is that the first thing you're going to say to me after 8 years?
It all makes sense now.
This is illogical at best.
We need to follow those two wherever they go.
Why? Yes. Does she still have wings? Where? That's such a dumb hiding place. How did I not know?
This was supposed to happen.
Oh, bullshit.
Watch. And I'm going to take you. You're still charmed by me, so I'm gonna be like, just keep paying attention. And I'm going to take you by the wrist, and I'm going to catch back up to them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like Dove probably, like, noticed that that Dawn and Ego had, like, trailed back, because you're pretty perceptive, but Clover gets very easily, like, lost in the surroundings. Didn't quite pick up on it.
BS, slub. I'm gonna yell at them. I'm guessing we're heading towards my mentor.
Yeah, Burley. He usually hangs out in, like, the staff area.
Awesome. The difference in the way that the Dove talks now is so jarring to me, and I it's kind of shocking. Okay, I'll be like, I guess I'll just have I'll just lead everyone if they're still willing to come with me. I'll walk into the staff area, back to Burley's cart.
Okay. Roleplay amongst yourselves as I pull something up.
So, you don't normally get attacked at work, right?
Not so far, I haven't. This is definitely the first time I've gotten attacked at work. The other times were like pranks. So yeah, this is new. Sorry for all.
No, that's fine.
You don't have to
How
be so.
Apology accepted.
How long have you worked here again?
Well, technically, I'm finally official. Like, this week.
Oh. Congrats!
Thank you. It took a little while, but I've been accepted.
That's really
How
cool.
long is a little while?
Not so good with time.
That tracks.
So you approach the big top and then curve off towards the left, and you approach the staff area. Before you lies a tangled wall of thorns that surrounds a cluster of wagons lit by lanterns. The this caravan that's inside is barely visible through the thicket, but standing outside of that, you see a familiar bugbear wearing dungarees with books shoved into his pockets, and it seems he's taken off his jack-o'-lantern helmet and is kind of like has it on the ground beside him, but is, like writing in a notebook. And before we get into that, let's take a super quick, like, 5-minute break since we're, like, at the halfway point.
Sure.
And then we can jump right back into it. The memory sequence, because there's, like, many moving pieces, took
A minute.
I
a
love
little while, so.
Love it. All right, fam. Barbie.
Hello. We will dive right back in. As the party is approaching, Burley the Bugbear, Dove's boss slash mentor here at the Witchlight Carnival, who appears to be just like writing in a notebook as he's kind of pacing outside of the brambles that enclose the staff area. And he will, see you approach and like close his book and tuck it away. I'm glad to see that you're feeling a little bit better. Durla patched you up?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I just want you to cut to the chase, Burley. I want to know what the heck that was all about.
Right, well, hello, to the rest of you. My name is Burley. I, am the head of security here at the Witchlight Carnival, and I am also Dove's trainer.
Dawn,
Dove,
Clover, Ego,
and
Burley.
these three can be trusted? Are
I'm
these
gonna look
the
at them all.
ones... Are these the ones that you've brought to me? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like he thinks, and you can see it on his face. His eyes kind of darting back and forth, like looking at the space in between. There are things that happen here at the carnival. And not just the magic of all of this. I don't know what it is, but I think there's something bigger going on here. I've tried to ask Mr. Witch and Mr. Light for an explanation of things, but they kind of just brush it off. The reason that I asked for you to bring me trustworthy, capable individuals, gestures at the party, is because a few months before you showed up, my brother, Hurley, went missing. And my brother, his name is Hurley. He's also a bugbear. Worked security with me. He vanished. And I don't think he just up and left and walked off. I think he was spirited away somewhere else. And Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they say that they've done all that they can to help find him, and they made a good case for why I should stay and continue working. He might show back up here, but I worry that they know more than they're letting on.
You're the second person today that's told me a family member's gone missing from this circus. That's suspicious, right?
You're telling me. That sounds like...
I came here because I think this place took something from me. And I think it's the reason why I went missing. I was missing for a while, and then I came back, but time was different.
Do you remember anything?
Not much. I just know that this place took something important from me. And it felt like a really long time, but it was only a year. So that's why I came here, because I was hoping maybe I could find the answers. And now I'm hearing other people are going missing. I don't know if it's the same thing. It might be something different.
Certainly coincidental.
But I came back, and how long have these people been missing for?
Well, my brother's been missing for perhaps a few months of time here. Hasn't been that long, but I
And then her cup was missing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been happening for a long time, and no one's noticed?
Some of us have noticed, but you must understand, everyone here at the carnival, we look out for each other and we take care of each other. And we owe it to each other to stay together. And what would I even do? Where would I go? I don't know where Hurley is, or why he left. He was never the smartest, but he has a good heart, and for him to just up and vanish is very strange. I think many of us stay because the hope is, with the places that this carnival goes, perhaps those who are lost will find their way back. But that's where all of you come in. You don't have ties to this carnival, this place that... You're not from here, you don't work here. In theory, there's nothing holding you back from going to look. And that's why I need people who are trustworthy.
I understand where you're coming from, Burley. This is all I've got too. This place is all I have. And yes, if I had family to go missing, I wouldn't stay. I would go find them. So I understand why you want to go looking for them. I wish you would, I would hope you could go search for him yourself, but if you can't, then
What are you talking? Did you find them?
Who are you asking?
He's asking Dove if she found her family because last time he remembers.
Oh my god!
He was looking for him.
Do you look at Dove when you say that?
Yeah, he goes, "Did you find them?"
No, I said if I had someone to find, I would go find them. And I have been alone my whole life. The only person I have is people like Burley and Dearla, whose family is missing. So of course, if you want me to go find your family, I will do that for you. Like, of course. No, I never have had anyone to find.
He kind of looks over at Ego.
Ego's just been listening to the conversation. Ego actually is probably like chewing on his pipe.
I'd be willing to help. I think it might be connected to my problem, so I think this is the best lead I've found. I think it's a good idea.
Thank you, Clover.
Poor Dearla and her cub. So sad.
Dove, I know that you feel a connection here to the carnival, but surely you've noticed. You said it yourself, something's not right. Just tonight alone. You've gotten information that doesn't sit right with you, and you say you don't have people to go find, but this carnival can be your family. You said yourself that you care, so somebody like you who doesn't quite have those responsibilities yet is in the perfect position to go and look and figure out what is happening here. I can sweeten the deal for you. I can reward you if you can find Hurley. But
You,
Miss
you don't need to, Barley. I will do it. I will absolutely do it for you. I'm mad at you for not telling me about this sooner, that your brother's been missing, but yeah, of course I'm gonna go find him, even if I'm mad at you.
You're the first new face to show up for a little while, but I had to make sure that you were trustworthy. I don't think I didn't notice the mischief in your eyes the first time we met. I did. Had to make sure that you were capable at the very least, which you are. I've seen it. The issue is, I don't. The carnival has to be taking people, but we need leverage. And if I try to blackmail Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, or find something to bargain for information with, I would be risking my position. And with it, my place here in the carnival, a place where my brother could potentially return to. But the rest of you, again, other than Dove, who's the newest recruit to the carnival, and so doesn't have much connection anyway, are in a position to go and do that. Get leverage on Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, and make them talk.
That is a very big ask. This is very serious and complicated.
I understand. Like I said, I can offer something in return. I have a family heirloom that I'd be willing to give you in exchange for the safe return of my brother Hurley.
John,
I think we should do it.
I don't think blackmail is necessary, but I also want to help.
I don't like leaving a mystery half solved. So I'll help. I'll take that reward.
All right. He will fish into like the little pocket that's like on the front of his dungarees, and he pulls out a small like velvety box and will pass it to you. Our parents' wedding rings. If you show them to Hurley, he will know who sent you, and I think it could help convince him to return home.
Hmm.
alright.
You can keep them when you're done. I don't. Trinkets are worth nothing to me compared to having my brother back.
I understand.
John, what do you what do you think about all this?
Well, I think all of this is not approved by any government ever. Highly illegal, dangerous, asinine, ridiculous. But my family is at this carnival, and I swear to all gods above, if something happened to one of them, everybody here would get more than a piece of my mind. So at the very least, to keep something from happening to one of them, because they seem to come every single time the carnival's in town regardless, I might as well. I'm not happy about it, though. This is the opposite of having fun at a carnival. I took time off work.
We had lots of fun.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Where can we start?
Right, so the issue... Mr. Light is very visible, but getting close to him is difficult, and Mr. Witch... getting close to him is harder still. I think there are a few different ways that you could go about trying to get their attention. They care... The most important thing to them is that everybody at the carnival is having a great time. And so if you can do that, they would be forced to notice you.
Ensure everyone is having a great time.
Well, I mean, yes, I think you'll find it's not always so easily done, but I have heard them... I've listened in a bit on their conversations, and it seems that they're worried about something here. Somebody causing trouble. If you can find whoever this troublemaker is and stop them, that could help. It's difficult. They're always together, except for during the Big Top extravaganza, so trying to isolate one of them is nigh impossible.
I like
So-
an impossible task.
So you think they definitely know something, and you think the best way to get them to talk is to leverage something on them.
Well, if... Perhaps, yes, blackmailing them... I hate to suggest such a thing. Getting them separated from one another, but ideally, the easiest way to get their attention would be to win... Essentially, the way the carnival works... Everybody who is at this carnival has a choice, and you can choose to contribute to joy, or you can be a buzzkill, frankly. And at the end of it all, there's magic that can tell who is the best at spreading joy. And that person becomes crowned as the Witchlight Monarch. If you were to be crowned as the Witchlight Monarch, they would have to pay attention to you. You would also be in range of both of them. I can't just let you in to their wagon. But that's one way.
So if we say, I'll put one idea out there. I did have an idea for a pretty spectacular show in the Big Top. Just a little performance debut. That could generate some joy, I'd say. If it could generate maybe so much joy, maybe be like, the best act ever done in the Big Top and excite so much joy, maybe one of us could be crowned Witchlight Monarch and we could get close to them.
Well, during the Big Top extravaganza, there is time for members of the crowd to perform. Just don't tell me what you have planned, because I am obligated to stop it if it involves trouble. But that is one way. You could also try to isolate one of them Mr. Witch in particular, while Mr. Light is performing at the Big Top Extravaganza.
Hmm.
But I think having both of them will give more information. I've thought about this a lot, and there are a lot of ways to approach this, and I don't know which one is best, and I'm only one bugbear. It's a lot to take on.
What's to say that we go up to them and we say, Mr. Witch, Mr. Light, we think you're kidnapping people. That certainly won't work. So what should we say?
Well, I think if you can give them something and force their hand to give information in return, that could be the first step to finding my brother.
What about Gleaming Glister?
What about them?
Do they
been
so that
missing.
Do they know about them? Do they know what she's
They're
doing?
aware.
What she tried to do to me and did to Dove?
That. What do you mean?
What the kiss? The necrotic kiss thing?
Glimmer's been missing as well. Another person missing.
So just so you know, he didn't see, like, that
Oh.
this shadow, like, he basically, like, that shadow was hiding, like, in the tent.
Oh,
so he didn't see.
I think when Clover realizes he's confused, she will backtrack and explain who she was and what she told us from the edge of the Swan Lake, the Swan gondolas. Her trying to convince me to go alone with her, and Dove was like, not about it, and that's why Dove was chasing her. Like, it wasn't. I think Clover's trying to be like, it wasn't entirely Dove's fault. She was trying to protect me.
You're saying that Gleam attacked you.
I will do a minor illusion of her face.
That. I have a very hard time believing that. Gleam couldn't even get in a simple argument over whether chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream was better without being flustered and needing to leave. To say that she would attack you after propositioning you to enter the tunnel of love? That does not sound like her.
I'm going to show her crying, because that's where she spent most of her time with Clover, is like sobbing at her, and Clover was like, her heart was breaking, and she's like, I can only, like, I couldn't have just imagined her, could I? I can see her face, like, if this isn't her, it's not her, but this is what I saw. This is what it interacted with me.
The face is hers, but
something could have happened. Burley, something could have happened if, your partner in life was missing. You may change very well. Very much. Maybe. I don't know.
I suppose if her sister Glister had vanished, the two of them were two people who shared one soul. Practically, if she had gone missing, then
Do you think
Gleam would be upset, but violence?
Do you think Mr. Witch or Mr. Light would know about this?
I think they have to. I really think they know more than they let on.
Oh boy.
And for two of their top acrobats to just vanish, and little more is done than comforting the staff and continuing on our way, is very strange.
Yeah. They have to know, right? Are they just letting her kiss people?
She was never kissing people before.
I'm gonna minor illusion what happened to Dove so he can see in full detail what the hell's happening.
We got a hot mama on the loose with lips unholstered.
Smacking. Lip smack.
Again, you're showing me a face that I recognize, but everything that you describe could not be further from the Gleam that I knew.
I'm sorry to show you that then. I'll stop. I'll put it away. It's making him uncomfortable.
Raph, you look very confused.
I'm just listening.
It's an interesting conversation. We have to blackmail Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, or one of them.
Could we?
To get tell us what happened to these people. I'm like, how? You could probably strike a deal, but no one wants to do that. Like, no one wants to strike a deal with them.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
I'll do that.
Don't.
oh,
I mean, we could talk around in circles, but if this is the loose plan, I would say just focusing on one of us getting that crown is the only thing that we need to worry about. If you spend so much time thinking about what you're going to say, instead of spreading all of that joy, you're not going to get a chance to say it to them.
And another, keep in mind, if you are successful in doing that, you could leverage it as being owed a favor.
That's true.
So we should all go and make as much joy as possible. Ego, who has the most dour face of all time, always, is just like, I'm going to make so many people happy.
Oh. Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
Group?
Their face is scary, but their intentions are usually quite effective, actually. So, I thought the same thing. They're a little frightening, but they won a roast off, so I will say they could make people laugh. Same with this one over here.
Against Bronson.
The both of these.
He deserved it.
he did deserve it. So these two, I know they can make it laugh, and just the appearance of this one here makes people smile. So I'm sure that it would be fine. Oh, gesture, Clover.
He will pick up his little jack-o'-lantern hat and puts it on his head. I do have to make my next round for security. Did you have any other questions?
I did. It's unfortunately not related to this conversation. I've been sitting here chewing on my pipe this whole time. Do you have a light?
Does he have? Hold on, let me look.
I'm hoping maybe that he lights the jack-o'-lantern, but maybe he doesn't because he wears it on his head.
It's like half of a jack-o'-lantern. It's like the top half that he wears on his head. He will fish around in the pockets of his dungarees and will pull out he probably has a little book of matches. I feel like that would be fair for him to have. He will light it for you. Oh my god, Ray, you can't light.
I can't light fires by myself. I need someone else to light my pipe.
That's true.
If your brother's somewhere that can be found, I'll find him.
Thank you.
I puff on the... Oh, there it goes out of my mouth. I puff on the pipe a little bit. Alright, I'm off to go find the nearest group of children to make them laugh. And Ego's gonna just start walking away and try and find a group of children. If all of you guys are following me, that's fine, but Ego's like, I've got my plan. You're good.
I'm gonna nod at Burley, and I'll just say, we'll see what we can do. And can I wolf whistle Berry and Moonshine to me?
So Berry and Moonshine are kept in the staging area behind the big top, especially because that is happening in the next hour.
Okay.
So they are contained.
Okay, cool.
In there, yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking about them.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody wants to ask Burley? or do?
Not Burley. I'm
Really?
gonna like waddle over to Dawn. Hey Dawn, what kind of work did you do before your vacation?
Worked at a bank.
Oh. Do you know anything about blackmailing people?
Why do you think a guy named Don would know how to blackmail?
No, he just
mean-
like he's in business. She's like, I don't know what he does. Has an actual job. What does a person with an actual job do?
I feel like Don's version of blackmail is like if a really unpleasant customer comes in, he like makes them wait extra long while he goes into like the safety deposit boxes or something like that.
Yes.
I feel like he definitely knows something about contract clauses.
I mean, I'm pretty good with contracts, but I can't say I've ever blackmailed someone. That sounds like we would get sued.
Can we sue them instead?
I really would like to, but something tells me that wouldn't work out the way we want.
Oh. Okay. That's it. I was hoping you had some insight that Clover didn't have. Alright.
Okay. So, you all do have a little bit of time. The big top is happening soon, but there's a little bit of time if anyone needs to do anything else.
Ooh, where's my ticket? What's left?
Oh yeah, I did put those ticket item. They should be all checked for however many punches you used.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 punches left.
Where's that?
It's an item I put in your inventory on your sheet.
It's not, yeah, it's not going to be highlighted or anything. It's just going to say Witchlight Carnival ticket.
Okay. Yay, I have it.
Yeah, and I added charges to it so you can mark
I
them
did
off.
that.
I'm just, I am seeking out specifically people that look upset by something, or that maybe they aren't having as much fun as they should, and I'm going to see if I can cheer people up.
Okay, so
I know where I go. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. One, your location on the map right now, are you going to that area?
Yes, so my thought process was, I moved myself in accordance with how I imagined Ego was moving, because we were at the staff area, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Ego is going to do the loop, like, around this part of the 8.
You don't get very far.
Perfect.
I was gonna go to Hall of Illusions.
That works out because that's the direction that Ego is heading.
Cool.
Dawn and Clover, are you following? Or what are you
Well,
guys
I was
doing?
going to the Hall of Illusions. That's
Or
where...
not, I meant Dove. Dawn and
sorry.
Dove. Again, noun names.
Noun names.
I'll follow. I think I'm just like thinking in my head, like planning out an act, and then like I'm gonna help Ego with what Ego's doing, like helping people and stuff, but I think I'm kind of like just thinking about the big time, like a group of that many people inspiring that much joy in that many people as it would be in the big top is like her goal. So she's thinking about like an act that she can do, and like everyone's skills in this group she's seen so far, that she's like trying to come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
She's like together.
Yeah. So Ego, you turn out of the staff area back onto the main thoroughfare, and you walk past a few tents, and then ahead of you, you see a wooden mannequin of a grinning, raven-haired young woman in witch's attire, and a green flowing cape that is hovering inside of a glass cabinet. At the top of that cabinet, you see a sign that reads, Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter. A halfling couple, holding hands as they approach, gets near this glass cabinet. You see one of the halflings is wearing butterfly face paint, and as he drops to one knee and pulls out a small box from his pocket, his sweetheart bursts into laughter and begins rolling on the ground. the halfling man in face paint just begins sobbing. And he darts into the nearby tent without even getting his ticket punched.
You said he presented he got on a knee and presented a little box?
Yeah.
He thinks this was like a botched proposal?
Yeah.
It's like that.
We're all like cringing, like, ooh.
Yeah, and the halfling woman is like on the ground, like rolling and laughing. Kind of similar to like how, since fairly early on in the carnival, Dove has been very like easily amused by things. It's kind of like that, but she's just like in a riot of laughter on the ground.
Yikes.
That seems unfortunate. Perfect.
Perfect. I'll,
Bewitched to laugh, and now he thinks that his love has been scorned, and he has fled without punching his ticket.
Should we follow the man in?
Perhaps maybe also helping her.
Where did he go into the Hall of Illusions?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And he didn't punch his ticket. I would say maybe Tasha, known for her hideous laughter. Perhaps we should pull the woman away from the display, and then we can go after the gentleman.
Yeah.
Bring her over, get her fortune read or something.
I'll go over to her and I'll try to hold a hand out for her, because I don't want to just grab her and yank her. Hold my hand out to see if, like, can I help you up?
How close are you getting to her?
Like, I can't get close to the Tashas.
You don't know, I mean...
I guess I would... No, I mean, my initial thought was I was going to go up to her, yeah.
She's, like, right next to the cabinet, so are you going right up to her?
Yeah.
Roll a wisdom saving throw. Is anyone else, accompanying Ego in all of this?
Honestly, yeah, she would have.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
13.
Okay.
12.
So, Ego, you feel a little bit of laughter that starts to like bubble up in your throat, but your mother taught you like how to try to overcome it's magic like this, and so in this moment you remember your training and you will like this force to just be gone from your body. Clover.
Dead puppies, dead puppies.
This lady's like rolling on the ground and she kind of like is wriggling like a little worm, and it's just like really funny. And you are affected by Atasha's hideous laughter spell, so you fall prone and are incapacitated.
So on fucking brand.
So you fall down next to this woman and you're both like laughing, and like she probably rolls over next to you and you're both like you at one point like might grab hands and you're like laughing and you're like
we're
looking
doing
at
the
each other
slapping
and,
thing.
the slapping thing. Yeah, but Ego, you feel unaffected.
Okay. I know I have -2 to strength. Is that still enough to pull a halfling woman and a teeny tiny fairy?
Yeah, I mean, they're incapacitated, so like they're basically just dead weight, so it might take you a second, but you can pull each of them away. So
I look back at like Dove and Don, it's like, don't worry, I've got it. You see I'm like pulling the woman and like my heels are like digging up the dirt. It's like,
Are you sure you don't want any sort of help?
if this spell affected you, I don't They're small.
How far away are you pulling her?
Let's see. 10 feet.
Okay. That is like literally exactly how far away you needed to get her. So you pull her out of range, and after another like 30 seconds or so, she like starts to calm down and like catch her breath. And is like and Clover is like, for then probably another 30 seconds, you are there still laughing because the spell lasts for 1 minute. So this woman who has like a reddish pixie cut and is wearing like a little sundress, she will come to and will look at you and say, "You're not Reuben. Where's Reuben? Reuben?"
I'm assuming that Reuben was the gentleman that was in the middle of professing his love and want of union to you.
Oh no. Where did he go? He's here, right? And she'll start standing up.
He ran it.
He went in there? Oh
Mhm.
no, Reuben. Oh, well, thank you for getting me out of the way of whatever just happened. Oh, I'm gonna go wait outside of the tent for him. He'll come back out, right? He just needs a minute.
How about we go get him and bring him back to you, ma'am?
Really? I don't like. I don't want to go in there. It's dark. That would help a lot.
We got you, man.
Yeah, when she says it would help, my like little forked ears do like a little like beep, beep. Perfect.
Would it inspire joy in you, ma'am?
Well, yes, I would like to see Reuben again and tell him I'm sorry. It wasn't funny, I couldn't stop laughing. But I do want to marry him. I love him so much, I need to get him back. Oh, this is terrible.
Okay.
I'm such an idiot.
Make sure that you have enough money saved up to make sure that, you know, your marriage doesn't have any complications when it comes to monetary.
Don's like, make sure you sign a prenup.
Yeah, he was literally just about to say, which one of you has more assets?
We're gonna make
Well,
sure-
I own a general store, and Reuben, he's getting really into basket weaving, and I think it's really gonna take off soon.
You
He's
definitely
trying.
make him
That's amazing, ma'am.
make him sign a prenup.
Or make sure you have the best proposal ever. We'll be right back. I'm like away from her. We're inspiring.
There's nothing more joyous than a union of two who are in love.
Prenups are not joyous. They're not. Only joy.
They're responsible though.
That sounds correct.
You own a store. He's a basket weaver. Make the right choice.
Don.
I'm coming.
The fiance to be may be currently wetting himself in the Hall of Illusions. We should probably get our tickets punched.
Okay.
Yeah, so you approach the Hall of Illusions and see this large tent is painted with a mural of shifting images that show grinning fairies diving into pools of color. The helical stripes of the tent's pointed canopies rotate in spirals, and the whole display seems designed to befuddle onlookers. A clown, or mime, dressed in muted garb, stands at the tent's entrance, blinking at you. Dove, you recognize this to be Candlefoot. And I'm gonna put his pick in maps. Handouts picks.
Aww. He's cute.
The little guy.
He will, you see, you approach and he just kind of, blinks and begins doing, the glass wall miming.
Yes. We want to go. We definitely want to go in there. Yep. I'm super awkward around Candlefoot. I'm like, what do I say to someone who doesn't talk to me? I'm like gonna hand him my.
He talks.
Oh, he does. Oh, okay.
He's shy, but he talks.
Okay.
You've heard him talk before.
Okay. Hi, Candlefoot. We would love to get our tickets punched. I'm gonna hand him mine.
He will. How would a mime do this? He mimes like a little hole puncher.
That's funny.
And he'll take all of your tickets and like do that if you are planning to enter.
Yep.
That's the one we're looking for, yes.
Uh-huh. Hell yeah.
I'm going to walk up to where he was starting his wall, and I'm going to feel alongside it, miming, until I find where I can get around it. Oh, okay. He doesn't like it. Sorry. I was trying to participate in the thing that you do because mimicry causes joy. Never mind.
I would love to know what he was trying to say.
I think he just wants us to go.
Go.
I don't think he... I wonder if he doesn't like being a mime. I'm gonna go in.
I'm sort of are the most awkward.
I'm awake now, right?
Does he want? Like, does he want us? You're frowning so sadly.
Would you like to roll an insight check? Actually,
Yeah.
no. Hold on.
No.
Ego and Dawn specifically can roll history checks.
Oh.
Oh.
18.
19.
Yeah, so you both have heard Candlefoot's name before.
Oh.
Featherine the Swan gave you a piece of gossip about Candlefoot.
Oh, right.
What was it?
He like confessed his love to a girl and she like turned him down, right? So he's like really sad.
So you remember that So she told you that he was about to declare his love for the mermaid singer Palasha in front of everyone when the words left him with a gasp.
Right.
And he hasn't
literally
spoken since.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that changes
Sorry.
everything.
So yeah, he's in a bad mood and it looks like
he just watched a bad proposal.
I don't think he can speak.
The words left him.
I think the words literally left him.
I wonder why. I want to fix it for him.
Well,
so this is information that Dawn and Ego have.
Oh, yeah.
So Don will like nudge Ego and be like, "This is the guy."
oh dear. We have two problems with lovers.
Don't say that in front of him.
I said it quietly.
You can like read lips.
Ladies, could you go? Should we, out of character? Should you and I try and stay and talk to him a little bit while they go and try and find this guy in there? We just all got our tickets punched, but I feel like if we leave him here, it's kind of like sad.
I'm down to go in if you guys want to do that.
We can hopefully. Well, Don, like Graf, what do you think? Because we're the ones that know.
Yeah. It's tough because Don also has advantage against being forced to laugh because he's a buzzkill. So he could also go in, but I think if since he knows, he would probably, yeah. I mean, he kind of doesn't. He's like, what do you? I don't know if we should like bring up the fact that we knew that he like completely botched his
Well, we don't have to be like, hey,
possession.
so we heard that you totally like. We don't have to do that.
I don't really know what to say to him, but yeah.
I mean, I can stay and talk to him. I'll stay and talk to him.
Then
You
Don
guys-
will say because Don is charmed.
Oh, that's.
So you're not all going in the Hall of Illusions?
But I want to go in the Hall of Illusions, but I don't want to leave him here. I'm going to.
He
works here.
He works here. He's not like this is where he works. Just as if that helps explain. But if you don't want to leave him, you can stay with him.
Well, no, yeah, we'll bring the guy out and then we can go talk to him. Yeah, let's do the Hall of Illusions together so we're not split up. I just feel bad. You literally roleplayed a sad mime man so well.
Mm-hmm.
He sets up he has he pulls out a cloth that he flicks, and it stays hanging almost as if it's the side of a long tablecloth, and he begins to walk, and he and then comes back up.
It's so hard to make people joyous, and I don't smile.
I know, it's also hard anytime if Fatasha's hideous laughter effect were to hit you, just be like, ha ha ha
ha. Let's go in.
We go.
Okay. Oh boy. I gotta switch the sound. Okay. So as you enter into the shadowy interior of this tent, you find yourself surrounded by tall mirrors that form the walls of a twisting path. Are you looking into them?
I mean, probably.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, I can feel it. Unless I want to walk around with my eyes closed.
Wait, these are all mirrors?
Yeah, it's like a mirror hall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I?
They're like the walls, floor to ceiling.
Yeah, I had a plan when I came here, but not this. But I'm gonna do what I wanted to do, and I'm gonna start minor illusioning little butterflies that match my wings on the mirrors, so it reflects.
Okay, good idea. So as you all are looking around trying to find the path through, you're looking into the mirrors and you think that that's the way to go, but you realize that it's not. Perhaps you bump into one of the mirrors and you look up, and Clover, right as you're about to cast minor illusion, you lock eyes with your reflection, and you see a little halfling girl with blonde hair, wearing a peasant's dress. About 8 years old.
Does that show any visual cords for anybody?
So you also look up, Dove, and you see a little girl with a shock of white hair, wearing very fine, flowing garb that seems to move as if a slight breeze is catching on the fine silks and the little capelet behind you, but there's no wind in here. Okay, so Dawn, you look in the mirror and you see a grinning satyr child, young teenage years, with a big cloud of curly hair, smiling back at you. Ego, you look into the mirror and you see a small child version of yourself, but as soon as you lock eyes with it, the face of this child, this young version of yourself, begins their eyes well up and they begin to sob. And they're just silently crying.
Oh, mirrors isn't very funny.
Do we only see our thing, or do we see everyone else's thing?
Let me see.
Like, does other people's reflections look normal?
I'm checking.
I mean, I'm mostly focused on myself crying as a child. Like, damn, I need to heal my inner child. Shit.
So I would say, like, yeah, you probably can see other people's reflections, and they're like hazy. It's like it's not a clear picture, but you can see these like child versions of the people around you. Which at this point, everyone can roll a history check with
Damn,
advantage.
Damn, Ma, why are you crying so much?
Ego doesn't really need to roll it because Ego already has all the information, but you still can.
Well, Ego rolled a natural 1 and a 19.
So Ego got a 23.
23.
So, what did Dawn get?
17.
Okay. Dove?
13.
Okay. And Clover?
Natural 1 and a 5.
Wow.
+1.
It's really...
Oh man. Okay.
I'm switching my dice because, like, I'm gonna switch my my patron dice because the pink dice are not doing
They
that
hate
soon.
you. They hate you.
The pink dice really hate me, and like that's her dice.
Do you have any banked? No.
I
Do you
can.
have any
Should I use
banked
Blossom's
D6s?
dice? Blossom usually did pretty good.
I think Blossom could help you out here.
Okay, I'm gonna bring in Blossom, and I'll bring my patron cat dice, and we'll see if that helps.
So, for Clover, again, you're still getting that like feeling that you think you recognize these people, but you can't remember where. But in this instant, like this is the auto unlock of like everything for the rest of you. Which Ego, you were already pretty sure that you already kind of had those memories back, but this just confirms it like 100%. Dawn, you as well. This unlocks like all of the memories of your time at the carnival when you were a child. For Dove, everything comes rushing back to you at once, but it's strange. You remember running through the forest and being afraid and wanting to get to this carnival, but you don't remember why. And you remember asking these other children for help, but when you explained what you needed, it's almost like being underwater. The thing that you ask them for help with, it's like it's just not there. You hear yourself say something, but you can't remember what it is or why you wanted to get to this carnival so badly. But basically, like, the memory sequence, like, is now, like, that feeling of, like, recognizing people but not knowing why is now the clouds have lifted. Insofar as they're able to be lifted, Dove is in some special conditions here that some clouds can't be lifted, but...
You! And you! And you! What the... Do you remember me? I looked all both the Dawn and Ego's faces.
Yeah, Don just kind of like looks away, like with the like, oh god, here we go.
Why don't I remember you both until now? That's all of you, and you didn't I'm gonna look at Clover and be like, you didn't look like this.
I think she's still looking at herself. I think that's probably why she hasn't clued into what's happening.
Hmm.
Hey,
How? No.
Ow.
I'm gonna look at Ego. How long have you known? What?
What? Wait, what?
We know each other. I know you.
We've all been here before.
It is a familiar feeling to you, but the specific circumstances are just like you're not clear on. But you've had that feeling, Clover.
I mean, I felt like I've met you guys before, but I don't remember. It's like...
You swam in a river to come over to me and Dawn with Ego. I remember that. And you guys had peanut butter jelly all over your fingers.
Half of that makes sense to me.
the words yarting.
It's Kristy, not
Doesn't make anything happen up in there.
Am I yarding triggering anything? So stupid.
That is so
You know
funny.
what? Sure. Roll another. roll.
God.
I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more.
Blossom
Yarding-
or cat? Blossom or cat? Which dice?
Cat.
Cat? Okay. 8 plus 1.
But you have the D6.
I do have the D6. Hang
Come on. This is the
on.
time.
Where's my cat D6?
It's the highest one you've rolled.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have a cat D6.
6, 6, 6.
6,
2.
6.
So
That's
that's
an 11.
So that's
11.
8, 9, 10, 11.
So I would say like you don't get like the full clear picture, but like
Okay.
you definitely have a distinct memory of this little child version of Dawn that you're seeing in the mirror saying like yarding, and then you being like farting.
Farting.
I remember farting, but that's it.
I don't know why.
Give
I
me
thought
a
that
minute.
was funny.
It might just take me a little longer. It's okay. I'm used to it.
I just put a little hand on you.
Oh.
I remembered when you offered me your sandwich.
Oh.
Because you were the first person that ever offered me something without asking for something in return. Since then, it's been coming back. I think that it's coming back for everyone at different amounts. But the thing I'd like to point out is that we all forgot.
I mean, I'm always forgetful, but yeah, this seems weird that all of us forgot the same things.
The carnival takes things.
Maybe it took multiple things.
Maybe he didn't want us to remember each other.
Do you know what it took from you guys?
I have an idea. But the other thing that everyone should probably remember is we didn't buy a ticket.
No, I didn't.
No, yeah, we didn't. We just ran in.
Well, my mom always gave me money whenever I went out.
I remember you said
You said you didn't have any money. And you swam over the river. You never went.
Well,
There's
means we all didn't buy a ticket. And like that other guy. Oh no. How do we fix that? How do we fix
Well,
it?
we talked to Mr. Light, Mr. Witch.
Mm-hmm.
That
but
doesn't
right
sound like
now-
blackmail.
No, but it's a first step. Right now, there's a man in here who thinks that he's having the worst day of his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's fix that. And then we can sort out what the fuck is going on with us.
Like,
Alright.
Okay. So as you progress as you progress deeper into the hall, Clover, you are able to use minor illusions to find like paths, but there sometimes like when you look into the spaces around you, you notice that the reflection begins to age up. And after a point you are looking at your current selves,
Oh.
Clover, you mm, probably at the point because you're like about 20ish right now, right?
Let me double check.
You're like
About
you're like young.
yeah, about 20. Let me double check though.
So
I think
yeah,
I'm 20.
when you reach like
20.
around the teenage years reflection, it changes, and all of a sudden you see a fairy in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
For Dove, you continue to see the reflection wearing very fine garb, and the outfit changes, and suddenly you are wearing like a breastplate made of wood, and you see yourself with like a long staff, wearing like very regal garb. Dawn, as soon as you progress past that initial pain seeing yourself the age that you were when you came to the carnival, it's like a switch. The child is not staring back at you anymore. Very like long tired face just looking back at you. Ego, every pain that you look in, you do see yourself aging up, but the reflection locks eyes with you and immediately begins to sob. Every single one that you look in. Even like before, like if you were to go all the way back to the begin, like all of them are crying. You're muted.
God, I thought of that scene in Avatar where Aang like looks down and it's all the line of the previous avatars and it's just a bunch of me crying at various ages.
Yeah. So, if you guys are looking for this individual, you can roll a perception check, and you will be aided by the fact that Clover is using illusions to like figure out where the mirrors are. So I will take that into account with the DC.
Okay, I'm using Blossom dice from now on. I got a 3.
Okay.
Are you the I don't wanna say this too early, but are you the sir?
She
Oh
has
my
bad
God.
luck. It's just the vibe.
I got a 16.
Okay.
Did you say what do we add to it? Or just
It's a perception check, so just your perception modifier.
3.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
12.
You spend about a minute looking through the halls, but perhaps it's something unsettling that you see in the mirrors as you watch yourself become an adult, and then you see even older versions of yourselves pass by. You are unable to find him in the first minute of searching. Are you continuing?
Moving forward, I'm going to not be trying to look for him because looking for somebody in a hall of mirrors is just asking for trouble. I'm going to try and listen for his crying
Okay.
and see if that does me something.
What is everybody else doing?
Well, I don't trust my cat dice, so I'm just gonna keep looking instead of listening.
Keep looking.
Oh, wait! Wait!
I changed the minor illusion. I changed it to her face. Like smiling.
Whose face?
The halfling that's outside, that his wife, the fiance.
His fiance.
Okay.
And I want to try and get that to reflect off the mirrors and see if that can get his attention.
Okay.
Clever.
Is Dove still looking as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll another round of perception checks, but for Clover, you can roll a performance check.
That's way better anyway. Thank you. What the fuck is happening?
I have a +4 to my performance, and that's a 6 total, fam.
Wow, Jesus.
Wow.
Needs to do some
I
juju
don't
on.
know what's happening right now. And, I just want to
14.
make her face. She doesn't even look like.
13.
13, 14.
$16.
Okay. So, Ego, Dove, the two of you branch off into different like hallways here, and I'm not going to attribute feeling to Ego in this, but Ego, as you progress, you begin to see a fully like adult version of yourself passing, and it's a slower progression because you are of like elvish heritage. But you see your form begin to change. You see your fingers elongate in the reflection, and scales and feathers begin to sprout from your skin, and yet every single reflection is still crying as it looks at you, and you are unable to locate the halfling man.
I think I walked myself into like a dead end, because it's kind of like a maze, right? So
Yeah.
I think I just kind of walked myself into a dead end, and I do think I kind of get hit with it because he goes like, "Why do you never get happy?" And just sort of crouch down into a little ball.
So, that's happening. Dove, you walk into a separate path, and I mean, you are not successful, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dove, you begin to walk through another pathway, and you see this reflection of yourself, that becomes more and more elegant, and the figure, like certain mirrors that you pass, you just see their like appearance growing and changing. You see suddenly like you're wearing this helmet that like looks like an owl's face that has like big wings coming off of the back, and like a very long cloak that turns into leaves. You walk by another mirror and you see a very different face of what looks to be a wolf made of branches and leaves and wood, with bright green eyes that just stares at you.
Like, instead of my reflection, I'm seeing that.
Mm-hmm. But you are also unsuccessful in finding the halfling man. Clover.
Yeah.
You are trying to flash this halfling woman's image into the mirrors as you're walking to try to see if you can like catch somebody's attention, and then you look up into a mirror that's in front of you, and the face that's reflecting off for just a second looks like your mother's face, and you are just kind of stop in your tracks as you see her face now looking younger than the reflection of you in the mirror as you look upon the like an almost elderly. Fairies don't quite, I don't imagine them aging quite the way that people do, but this like very like mature looking version of yourself in the mirror, and your mother's face by comparison is so small and young. You also are not able to catch the attention of the halfling man. Dawn. As you are walking, you realize that your friends seem to have branched off into other pathways in this hall. And the reflection that you see is yourself, the way that you know yourself now. And you see yourself get older. You see your suit get a little bit nicer. The leather of your briefcase that you're carrying and that reflection becomes of a very fine quality, but every single face that you see, the bags underneath the eyes grow bigger. And you see like the little like there's no nubs of any horns. Everything about your heritage, it continues to stay covered. Um you look up and you see a halfling man with a very worried expression on his face looking into a mirror. And as you look into the mirror that he's looking in, you see his reflection of himself a little bit older and somebody else. There's a little girl behind him with a pig mask on her face who seems to be whispering into the ear of the reflection. Her head tilts up at you, and you see her run off.
Hey, ooh.
So you say, "Hey," and the halfling man like shakes his head and turns and sees you. Oh, sorry. If you want to keep going,
No, I'm here for you.
for me,
Yeah. You were the one who ran into here crying, weren't you?
I guess.
You need come get up and get it together. There was a misunderstanding.
He
I
looks
saw
back.
your proposal.
Listen. Don't. Maybe you should just go. I think I know a way to fix this.
What is that supposed to mean?
Didn't you hear her whispering?
No. What'd she say?
That little girl.
I saw her. What did she say?
Well, she asked me if I had any regrets, and I do. I regret making a fool of myself and being unworthy of Ween's love, so she... Yeah, her name is Ween. I didn't make it, you guys.
All I did is mouth it.
I know, I saw you. Um... I told her, yeah, I mean, I have regrets of just being a loser, and she said she knew somebody who could help me if I just followed her, so just, I don't need you to fix my problems. I am figuring it out.
Well, first of all, my guy, are you really going to listen to a child for relationship advice on how to fix your problems? Come on, you're an adult. Second of all, there was no issue. It's a magic whimsical carnival. She got a spell cast on her that made her laugh. The timing was just bad.
It was magic?
Yeah.
She wasn't laughing at me thinking we could get married?
No, she probably just saw her reflection behind her and got a little giggly spell cast on her or something. I don't know how magic works. I'm not a mage.
You're sure it was a spell?
I'm quite positive because it happened to one of my friends who walked up right beside her, and she fell in the dirt, and they started slapping each other. They don't even know each other. She wanted us to go in after you because she wanted to tell you that she still wanted to get married.
Okay, roll a persuasion check with advantage because you said that last part.
That should be an 18.
Yeah, so he'll look back into the mirror one last time. And it's actually my beat. It's a more youthful version of himself. Um, and he'll look back up at you and say, "All right, I'm a little confused. Do you know how to like get out of here? The mirrors are kind of messing with me."
Mirrors are kind of messing with everybody, so I guess I need to go pick up my loser friends too.
All right,
Because
just
they're
like
supposed to follow me, and I'm the only one who made it here, I guess.
can I just like hold on to the edge of your briefcase while we walk so that we're like in a chain?
Be very careful, there are very confidential documents. Are you from Waterdeep? I might have your bank statement in here somewhere.
No, I'm from Amphale, but
I
um
might still have your bank statement in here, so just be
I
very
don't
careful
have a
with it.
bank account, so
You don't have a
He's a basket weaver, remember? He doesn't
right,
got money to put in a bank.
yeah, he just kind of, you don't, and then he puts his hand over his mouth, and he goes, right. She told me you were a basket weaver.
what does that have to do with me having money?
Don't worry about it. Let's go.
He
Alright.
describes what a high yield savings account is.
You should really look into getting a proper bank account. It'll be really good for if your basket weaving business goes under.
He will listen to you describe
Yeah.
high yield savings accounts and Roth IRAs. So if you spend enough time, you are able to locate your friends. They are in various places in the hall doing whatever they will, perhaps stuck staring at a reflection or continuing to hunt through, but you are able to keep walking and eventually like find them.
Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You guys
Getting turned
mind
around.
if I stay here for a little bit?
Yes.
I'll come out after.
Hmm. I'm starting to doubt you will. Something weird's going on here.
Okay.
At the very least, maybe just like by the entrance.
I don't know if it'll show the same thing right now. Over there.
What are you seeing?
Just my mom.
We definitely need to get out of here. Clover!
Okay, okay. There's peace.
Dumb!
I follow.
I will offer my hand like I did when we crossed the river.
I think Dove's just like touching the glass.
Walks up.
Glass feels
Yeah.
very warm.
Starts
If you're
pushing.
looking, you're looking in the reflection with the wolf?
I think the wolf, and she like walked backwards a step to look at the one with the mask. It's like, why do I look so fancy? So
Yeah.
weird.
When you touch the mirror that the wolf is in, it feels like wood, but you're touching smooth glass and it's warm.
I think she'll stare at it until Dawn comes over to get her attention, and then she'll walk out. with
Yeah.
them.
Come on, Princess Dove. We got shit to figure out.
What? And
Don really just likes dropping it and going.
Don's like, oh, I have leverage now.
Don's like, I understand blackmail.
So yeah, the four of you plus your new halfling companion are able to exit the Hall of Illusions. When you bring him out, he like gives Dawn a thumbs up and immediately exits the tent and runs over to Ween.
Ween.
My name is Ween.
Yeah, he runs up and grabs her hands and says, Ween, and she says, Reuben, you don't have to say anything else. I'm sorry for laughing at you, but I want you to know that I take our love very seriously. And to answer the question that you asked me before, of course, I will marry you. I love you. They will embrace, and he will. Then he goes, oh, and gets back down on one knee and pulls out the box, the ring again, and like hands it to her frantically, and she'll take it and like put the ring on. And like some people that are walking around on the thoroughfare, none of them get too close to the Hall of Illusions, but they'll like clap and be like, yeah. There's like some drunk guy that's like, that's great. Oh, just see it. And he like falls on the ground and passes out. But yeah, and Candlefoot is just kind of standing out there. But Reuben will turn back and say, thank you for finding me and talking some sense into me. And thank you very much for explaining, the retirement savings plan to me. I actually never really thought about that. I should probably do that.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Anytime. It's kind of my job.
Yeah, if you have any information about loans, because I think I probably would need a loan to buy a house. Just let me know.
Oh,
Thank
sure.
you.
I have a lot of reputable loaning companies underneath my belt. I can cross-reference some. Give me your address. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, I know a great loaning business. Have you heard of the Zentar?
Have you heard of the Kraken Society?
Oh my
They're
god.
really big and water deep. They're good. They got a solid foundation over there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of income.
Yeah, so as they take that information and then they are the couple is embracing and they walk off into the crowd, Ruben's like, yeah. You you hear the faint laughter of children lingering in the air around you, and all of the people in the crowd that you can see converse with happy hearts, and the mood of the carnival seems to lift a little bit. The smells of carnival food on the air get a little bit sweeter, the colors get a little bit brighter, and you just feel your hearts lift a little bit. And I have to do something on the Roll20. And with that, we are going to call an end to tonight's session.
GGBB.
Good game, everybody. I did not think you were going to go into the Hall of Illusions tonight, and I'm so glad that you did.
That was awesome.
That's where I wanted to go next. I'm so glad.
Why am I depressed?
I love it.
Poor everyone.
Yeah, it was pretty sad, but also so juicy and good.
So
If you ask
juicy.
Donna, you're
So good.
depressed because you don't have a nice bank account.
I don't need to buy anything.
Huh?
Oh. I don't need a bank account because I don't buy anything.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I thought you were saying something to us. I was like, what?
No.
Well, good game, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you, people in the present or future who are watching this, for supporting us. Thank you to Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. Thank you as well to Sirenscape for the atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Sirenscape desktop or mobile app. This app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included to get you started. You don't even need to register, so go to sirenscape.com to find out more. So please check us out also on YouTube, join our Discord. We love you. Does anyone have anything that they need to say?
Oh, next Tuesday we're switching up the schedule, is that correct?
Oh yeah, this upcoming Tuesday is another Pirates game. So the Tuesday schedule, I mean, it's always Delve,
Yeah.
but it's going to be like Pirate Delve this time.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
All
Great.
right. Well, when you are faced with the harrowing and confusing nature of time in a magical hall of mirrors, staring into a version of your older self, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
Ew, you.
Oh yeah, just as one
Ew,
does.
you.
Yeah.
Love you, bye.
Bye.